So this morning when I woke up, there's a wad of, look in there. There's a wad of spaghetti. You can't see it, you gotta be way in there. There's a wad of spaghetti, and because it was this support that was building up, didn't connect somewhere, so it was all over the place. So all this white stuff, I put super glue on there and I paused the print, pushed the wad up against here, super glued it, and then came back out. There was a little puck, and it fully built back up, which is huge because if it didn't have this support right here, this would have just been a big old wad of spaghetti.
The more you know about your 3D printing.
Yep.
Dang, that's lucky. That is lucky. This is going to be a nice plant holder. Okay. Weathering for the chest plate. The color is slightly off, right? Our color is a little bit metallic-y, where this is a little more red undertone. So basically, we're going to try a red wash first and see if it works.
Well, there's black in here too.
Oh. That's going to overpower maybe. Because you probably only need a drop of black. Not live, but filming.
So we're going to just test a corner here of a side that you don't see normally.
I'm going to say I don't think it's red enough, but we'll see.
And my mixture's too thick.
It looks good. It just needs to be more reddish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So wipe that off.
So, I think we should try just the straight wine color first.
Okay.
Because you can always add more color to it. You could add brown, you could add a drop of black, or the opposite color to red on the color wheel, I believe, is green, which should also make it darker. Don't quote me on that, though.
It's not really need to be darker. It needs to be like
more brownish.
Like brown. It
is this, but with red in it. That's why I'm saying that if we could find a red leather stain, I bet you it would work.
I mean, that leather stain is water soluble. I could mix it with this paint.
Oh, let's try that then. Okay, we're in experimentation process. We're gonna mix. So
let's do this first.
Yeah.
First off.
Okay, first try just the red.
Let's try just red.
Which actually looks quite nice. Not enough.
So the problem would be we'd have to do that and just literally let it dry. And then the problem with washing and leaving it is you get brush strokes. So we can let that sit and see how it dries.
Why don't you do this? Go to this part right here. Because maybe just doing the sides and the sides and the stomach part will be enough to then black wash over it, black wash over this, and that gives it the red enough of a little bit of a reddish hue. Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That gives it the little reddish hint. Well, let's see how that looks when it dries.
Yeah. Okay, so just so you guys can see here, before, this is what we're going for. So you can see up here is where we were, and this is the direction we're going. This will still get more black wash or black on it, but it definitely looks closer. But this is still an experiment, so let's see what happens.
I mean, we're really...
Okay, so the experiment consists of rubbing alcohol, red craft paint, and then this brown leather stain.
No, we didn't use it.
Oh, we didn't use it.
Nope.
What did you... Oh, you just put it... Okay, so just the craft paint.
Yeah, it's just the craft paint.
Okay. So just a mix of craft paints.
See how
these guys
works. Hard part.
But we'll see. It might not be. What's the hard part? the brush strokes?
Yep.
Are you seeing them more?
I don't know. You know what?
The bigger area?
We're just gonna do the whole
Just to
thing
try it.
and see how it works.
Okay.
This is a nice thick black wash, so thicker than normal, because we're really trying to
Give it
add
that
this
color.
So usually a black wash is to get into the crease, maybe darken a color, but we're really, we're trying to do a red
Overwash.
Yeah, so this
is like an and it's not. You can't call it black wash because it's not black.
That I've done
Like
before,
an overwash.
and
Experimental.
almost think it might be too thick.
Too thick.
I don't know though.
Go around. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, tell me if I'm missing the spot.
No, you got it. And I like the way it's gonna give it. If you come to this side though, you can see on the top where, yeah, you just want it to, like right here, it dripped nicely and it came all the way down. Okay. But here, but I don't know, when it dries, it might give it kind of a nice dynamic to it. Master at work.
I don't know about master.
What would we call you?
Trainee.
No, because no one's really teaching you. So you can't be a trainee. You can't be a master. You can't really be a mad scientist. But that's what mad scientists do. They experiment.
I'll take mad scientist.
You want that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Brian, the mad scientist. Okay, so we're gonna let it dry and see. I think it looks better than it did before.
Definitely, it's
it has
closer,
more dynamic than
it's
just
closer
a flat.
to the color.
Yeah.
That we're trying to get.
But it also has like undertones in there, which I think is really good. I don't know, because to have just a flat color doesn't always seem to be the most realistic.
We're gonna let it dry. Well, it's gonna take. Here, let it.
Okay, but we can talk about what you did first before that warms up. So you had printed these in two parts. We showed that before.
So this is the back plate. So to print it on the 3D printer vertically, it just is wobbly. The potential for wobbly, and then it's gonna have to build up a bunch of support. So I just sliced it in half and printed it like this and like that.
Yep.
So we quickly took some CA glue and just glued it together to hold it in place. We're going to weld it now, which is a very common technique with 3D printing. If you don't know, so you take an old soldering iron. This one was an older one that I had, our soldering iron, and you actually weld this together, which you're going to see as soon as this warms up.
First things first.
This is our new. We've got to make sure we're being safe. And the reason why I'm wearing this is that it can get a little smoky, but also the CA glue. You're melting CA glue, because I pre-glued it. You don't want to breathe that in.
Is that the Bob Smith CA glue?
Yes, good old Bob.
Don't breathe in Bob Smith.
So what you do is you're kind of like stitching it, right?
Okay, stitching it.
You're melting the two pieces together. Very common technique all over YouTube, all over 3D print form. Some people get very specific and they'll do this and they'll kind of smooth it out. I'm like, the inside armor, to me, you never see it. So unless there's like a big pokey thing, pushing into your body, but generally you're wearing a bunch of materials underneath this, or maybe you'll finish it with some paint or Plastidip or something. So I don't generally sit here and do this. But I just make sure I weld it together in my crosshatch pattern.
Okay, what's your first assessment?
I think it's pretty good. I would like to...
Still drying.
Some of these spots that are a little weird.
Yeah. Dab it
What do
up.
you think about right there?
Yeah, try dabbing it. It also helps. Yeah, that's good. I think it also helps with that kind of a textured look,
Yeah.
which we were going for with the hammered copper spray paint.
Well, I'm just trying... I don't like drips, right? Like, I don't want it to look like it's dripping.
Yeah. No brush strokes, no dripping.
Dude, that's pretty good. I could hit it with a heat gun to make it dry faster, but or we can be patient and let it sit. I think this...
You should be wearing your mask, but at least you have a glove on.
Here. I'll go outside.
Okay, what are you up to now?
So this is Smooth On. It's like liquid plastic. We can show you the bottles here in a second. I've recently discovered that this is great for building a little bit of support or covering up like weird lines or something on the inside, say, of your helmet. We did it on the inside of the helmets where the supports were. But it's like liquid plastic. It dries white and it's... I don't want to say it's flexible, but it's kind of flexible. But for something like this, it's just adding a little bit of support to the backside. And yeah.
Yeah, which is nice because you can see we already had to do these supports because it was delicate when we were standing. But that's going to help. It's this.
So this is the stuff.
Where did you get it?
Smooth Cast. You can get it on Amazon. It's Smooth On products, Smooth Cast, bright white liquid plastic. So Smooth Cast 300.
Were you wearing your mask with this? I mean, definitely gloves, but
it doesn't. It's not really fumey.
but you
so
could
I don't
become
know.
a fan on Facebook.
Should though. Yeah. Hold on, make sure it's not dripping.
Yeah, I think
You
that
can film it through here.
is great. We did a little bit of the same thing like we did to the Night Owl. Where what did you use? To
So
use?
this I just used
Oh, I'm
because
surprised you used the sanding
because
block.
we had the copper. Well, I tried the wire, and that's
It
where
made
that
lines.
white. That's where that white buffy stuff is looking, and I think because it's a heavy black wash. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to just get that copper to come out, right?
Yeah.
And give us dimension. So I'm literally just
Oh, I see.
I'm just see, but you got to get that kind of residue off. But I'm just bringing that copper through.
Yep.
From underneath the wash. So that is giving me color dimension and making it not look so one-sided.
So flat.
Yep.
Although that overwash we did really made it not look flat
Huge.
at all.
Yeah.
So
Overwash is
very
key.
happy.
I would say that.
So just giving it one last kind of wipe down to get some of the dust from the block off. That was white. We don't need that on there before we do the final spray. Yeah, that looks great. Protective overlayer. And using the mat to cut down on the shine of the shoulder bells. Wow, they look good. Okay, then can you say again what you just said to me?
I said we
For the pop? No, what you said before.
Huh?
What you said before.
What did I say before?
Think back
That I like
to 2
this-
seconds ago.
That I like.
Yeah.
I'm more stoked on this in the helmet.
Yes, you
Yes.
did say that.
'Cause
And then I said, why?
Because getting the color right was just such a conundrum.
But you did it.
The helmet was just like, oh, find gold paint. Okay, paint it gold. Like,
That wasn't the case, though.
I mean, the weathering was tough, but...
We did, well, you could go back and watch what we did.
I know.
It wasn't just that.
But getting the right tone on this.
This was just a little more challenging.